Hey everybody, my name is Shrey. This is my wife Davy. We're actually going to keep this a bit short. I kind of have to use the bathroom right now. But we're going to be your hosts tonight. We were talking to Kalpana and Nate a couple weeks ago, and they were pretty much like, we don't really want you to be our MCs, but no one else is willing to do it. So we're your hosts for tonight.
I wouldn't be too excited because honestly, we're the only thing standing in between you and your dinner.
So, as you all know, we're here to celebrate the beautiful marriage of Kalpana and Nate. No applause. Oh. The day they finally get to transfer their Tinder accounts over to Ashley Madison. But in all seriousness, it was a beautiful wedding. We're glad it came together. They really needed a win, especially after the Celtics and the Preds went down last month. I haven't even seen Nate happy since the Super Bowl, so.
This entire day has been so beautiful and so meaningful, and I'd just like to take a quick pause to give the people that put so much effort into this, all of the vendors, the families, the trenches, the Valabaninis, all of you guys, everyone that's made this day possible. I just wanted to give you a round of applause. I'd like to say that it's actually been made so much more meaningful by all of you in this tent right now. We both had a chance to get to meet so many of Nate and Kalpana's families and friends, and you guys are here from all over. I think we have people from, obviously, Massachusetts. We have people from Seattle. We have people from New Mexico, Maine, Florida. It's truly amazing how far people are willing to travel for a free meal. It's amazing. Amazing.
I mean, can you blame them? The menu looks amazing. The food's been amazing so far. And actually, in honor of Kalpana, I brought some Tupperware container. I'm going to eat free for the rest of the month.
So we actually, just some background, we met Kalpana in college in North Carolina. And ironically enough, we met Nate at a frat party at our friend Amit's house. For those of you that don't know Kalpana as well, she's 27. She has an amazing job at Deloitte that she plans on keeping forever. She really enjoys, emotional, frivolous spending. And she's not completely sold on the concept of global warming. Nate, on the other hand, is much, much more simple. Right, Shrey?
Yep, Brady Beer in Boston.
Yeah. Yeah. As soon as we met Nate, Shrey actually very quickly decided that he much preferred Nate to Kalpana. And he was switching allegiances. So I'm actually here as his +1 on the groom's side today. But actually, when Nate and Shrey met, it was like looking in a mirror for them. It was two grumpy, sleepy men that love cheering for the Pats and love cursing millennials. And one was tan, and the other one was really into tans.
Hashtag Shrey Soulmate.
Get it trending, y'all. And I personally love Nate since the day I met him. I liked him in particular because he always laughed at my jokes. Nate's actually the one who gave me something, a piece of advice that has stayed very near and dear to me to this day. He looked at me and he said, "Davy, the best jokes are the ones you have to explain."
Yeah, she is.
I think about that every single day.
I knew, I'll tell you about the story about the day I knew when Nate was the one. One of the times they visited, they came up to New York. I took them out to play basketball, just Nate, with my friends at the Y, which, by the way, Kalpana and Davey were both surprised that you played basketball at that point in time. I don't know why. But anyway, I took them to the Y. We were playing basketball, and it was pretty quickly I realized we were on the same wavelength in terms of competitiveness, going after every ball, arguing every single foul call, just trying to demolish the other people. It didn't matter at all to him that we were playing against 15-year-old kids. We were just stomping on their throats, and we won every single game. So that worked out great.
And Kalpana. Kalpana has been the one for me ever since I met her. Her story is that she wanted to be my friend and I seemed too cool, but it was absolutely the other way around. She was popular, everyone liked her, she was sarcastic and sassy and funny, and I followed her around like a little minion, and I was like, hey, do you need rides anywhere? I promise I'll take you anywhere. I have a car. Her single flaw, though, might be that she's a little bit secretive with her affection towards people. I remember when she first told me about Nate, and I obviously asked a few follow-up questions, and she was like, it's fine, it's chill, it's casual, it's cool, and she said that for a really long time. In fact, I don't think I knew how serious it was until I showed up here this weekend. But as a couple, Nate and Kalpana complement each other so well. They're the yin to each other's yang. For example, Kalpana is the plan for the future, savings, let's think about it, kind of person. Meanwhile, Nate reminds her that sometimes it's okay to pay extra for the guacamole. And in actuality, they are, for me, what love looks like. They have been patient with each other as they have lived and traveled across the country so many times to be closer to each other. They have been so kind to each other and so supportive. No one has been able to be in a room with them without laughing. And their entire relationship is based on this laughter. And as someone who loves you both so dearly, it is one of the greatest blessings in life to see your two best friends love each other and be treated so well by each other.
However, despite how great they are together,
Thank you.
that deserves a round of applause. I'll let that go. We do have some advice since we're very similar people as a couple, and we've been married for over 1 whole year. But I'll start with Kalpana. And Davey had to go through this, but just because you're married now, Swirly still loves Nate more. He doesn't see anything differently. And the other big thing is plan all meaningful conversation and other activities for halftime. Nate, this one's a big one. Wherever you go, whatever you're doing, whatever you're planning, you have to add an extra hour of cushion just for the perfect lighting for the picture, even if you're just going to McDonald's for breakfast. And every once in a while, just dial up any random customer service and let her go off on them. It'll cleanse the soul.
So before we actually kick off the night, we just wanted you, Kalpana and Nate, to know that we promise to love and support you as individuals and as a couple. We will be there for you when you buy your first home, when you have your first, second, sixth kid. We will figure out together where we're going to retire. We are in this for the long haul with you, and I think everyone here in attendance feels the same way. We are so thankful that you've allowed us to be on this journey with you, and we couldn't love you more if you were blood.
And with that, before we bring some people up to share their stories, we'd love to invite you guys up to thank us and say whatever else you'd want to say.
Okay. You want me to go down there? We'd obviously like to start by thanking Davey and Shrey for a wonderful introduction. But of course, we want to thank everyone here. Without all of you traveling so far to come be with us today, it couldn't have been such an amazing experience, and the rest of the night I'm sure will be even better. We want to thank our families for coming. My parents have been great. Beth and Sarah and Shalini, our sisters, for doing so much work with decorations, and Asha and Babu for allowing us to have such a beautiful wedding that everyone could enjoy. So thank you all, and let's party.
Not yet. In a bit. Yeah, thanks everyone. I just wanted to reiterate, we love you all, and we're so happy you guys are here to celebrate with us. And Davey and Trey are going to be great hosts, so laugh at all their jokes. It's clearly how she won Nate. And it'll be great.
So first off, we want to bring up two people who have known Nate since the 90s. Please give a warm welcome for his sisters, Beth and Sarah.
All right, hello. So for those who don't know us, we are our Nate's sisters, Sarah and Bethany. We've grown up beside Nate and are so excited to share this special day as he and Kalpana begin a family of their own.
Nate is one of the most caring, generous, and loyal men there is. Now, many of you know him as the calm, collected, put-together, easygoing man he is today, but that is not how Nate has always been.
As a child, he was such a klutz that he earned the nickname Mr. Spills for the many drinks he spilled and all the times he spilled himself onto the ground. He fell down so many times that, as a precaution, Mom and Dad started putting Band-Aids on his knees before he went outside. Nate could also be quite the little troublemaker, pushing the limits and waiting until Mom counted to 4 3/4 out of 5 before stopping whatever naughty thing he was doing to avoid a timeout.
But when Nate wasn't falling over himself or testing our parents, he was being a great brother. Being the middle child between two sisters, especially the two of us, was not easy. Sorry, Nate. But Nate was still our best friend. From making blanket forts in the living room, to splashing around in the brook in the woods, to climbing trees and playing games in the pool, Nate was our fun-loving companion.
As we've grown up, Nate has continued to be our dependable sidekick no matter how far away he's lived. He has grown into a wonderful man and has kept his fun-loving ways. He is the best brother either of us could ask for, and now he has brought an amazing new sister into our lives. We first heard about Kalpana after Nate's first work outing in Denver, and then continued to hear about this good friend for months. We were very curious about who this girl was because Nate is not the chattiest person on the phone, so hearing so much about this friend let us know that she was a pretty important part of his life.
Our family met Kalpana at different times over a few trips to Denver, and we all instantly loved her. Now, we, as a family, can be a lot to handle. There are a lot of us. We like to travel together. We're constantly sharing food and drinks, and we have no problem squeezing 6 people into a tiny hotel room. But Kalpana didn't bat an eyelash at our antics and fell right into step with us. So while we are overjoyed that Nate has found someone who fits perfectly with him, we're even happier that she fits perfectly with us. Over the last few years, our love for Kalpana has only grown. She's become another sister to the two of us and another daughter to our parents. She's already been a part of our family for years, and now it's official.
While there are a million things that we love about Kalpana, the thing we love most is how happy she makes our brother. We've seen many of Nate's smiles over our lives, but the smile that he has when he looks at Kalpana, that smile that reaches deep down inside and shines through his eyes, is the most beautiful one we've ever seen on his face. And Kalpana's smile reflects just as brightly back. And we know that those smiles, like your love, will never fade.
We're so excited for the years to come, to watch the two of you grow together in love. We love you both more than words can say, and we wish you a lifetime of happiness. Cheers.
Everyone needs like a few tissues going around. I'll pass them out in a little bit. Next, we would like to introduce someone who I think is a beautiful, funny, and kind person. but is probably most well known for birthing two of the most amazing children on the planet. So here is Kalpana's sister and mother to Mira and Lila, Shalini.
Thank you for that introduction, Davey. You're completely right. I think most people know me by my children. But I'm going to keep this a little short. I just wanted to say hi, I'm Shalini, everyone. Anybody who doesn't know me, I'm Kalpana's older sister. I wanted to thank everyone for coming. Everyone's come from so far away to Asheville, and we're so excited to celebrate these two. We love Kalpana and Nate so much, and I know that love is present in all of you today. They're both so special, and we're excited to officially welcome Nate to the family, although he's felt like family for quite a while now. As you probably know, wedding planning can be a little stressful, just to say the least. You know, there's a lot of details to coordinate, a lot of people to manage, but Kalpana's really taken it all in stride. She's super busy. She works full-time, travels every week, you know. She drops everything if any of her friends or family ever need her. And she's managed to coordinate this big, awesome event all at the same time, you know, and she's done a fabulous job, even with the little rain that threw a little wrench into our morning. It's been a gorgeous day. It shouldn't really surprise me that she's done such a good job coordinating everything, because she's always been like that. She's always been helpful, and, you know, she'll drop anything to do anything for anyone. I personally probably wouldn't have made it through the newborn years without her. With my two little girls, she's always there to help us. You know, even when we were little, my family, my grandparents, my grandmothers would say, "Oh, I hope Kalpana finds a really good match when she grows up, a really good husband when she grows up," which, by the way, I don't think anyone ever said that about me, but they always said it about Kalpana, because it's true. She's really a selfless person, and I'm glad that she has found that match in Nate. He is truly part of our family, and we're so excited to have him. If you've spent any time this weekend talking to any of the numerous friends that they've invited here, it's easy to see that they're well loved, and for good reason. You know, we all wish you the absolute best. Josh and I have been married for a few years now, and just a few, and you know, you guys have everything going for you. You're so well loved, and we're just so happy to welcome Nate to the family. And with that, I'd like everyone to raise their glass for a toast to the happy couple. Cheers, you guys.
So we are now going to continue with a few more speeches. Next, I'd like to announce the most beautiful, formidable Jana. Jana is Kalpana's roommate and also a college friend, and I think that they get along wonderfully, and they have so many things in common, and the love between them is so palpable, and I'm going to pass it over to her now. Give her a hand.
Hello, everyone. As Davey said, I'm Jana, and I'm one of Kalpana's very many college friends here tonight. And when I first sat down to start writing this toast, I started mentally flipping through the catalog of all the amazing anecdotes I had to share about Kalpana. And I realized a couple of things. First, I'm pretty sure I should just go ahead and write a comedy show entirely based upon all the things that Kalpana and I have done together. But secondly, for how many stories I have, most of them weren't really that unique, because the thing about Kalpana is that what's unique is anyone who has spent any amount of time with her just really knows that true, palpable joy she has for life, and how she is always up for any accidental adventure. One of my favorite accidental adventures was that I was actually her roommate living in Denver with her at the time when she met Nate. And at this point in time, I'm pretty sure we were living in what can only be described as a literal dumpster. But standing here tonight, I'm really proud to say, you're welcome. Totally worth it. despite living with with Kalpana at the time, when she met Nate, I don't actually have as many stories to share about Nate. And instead, I feel like I've gotten to know Nate best through how I've watched Kalpana grow since they've been dating. And if you know Kalpana, you know that she is really the type of person who just will give more than she gets out of every single relationship. And so it's been nothing but just truly heartwarming to watch her meet her person, her best friend, the person that she has in her corner, the person who has helped her become both, and I don't know how she did this, but simultaneously so much more emotionally open and vulnerable, and yet 10 times stronger and more resilient together. And I look at them and I just am so amazed by the fact that together they are this really unique example of how you take two wonderful, beautiful people, and when you put them in a relationship and it's done right, it actually makes these people better both as individuals and as a couple. And so I'm just, so honored to have them let me share this moment with them and this beautiful day. But let's raise your glass for a toast to just my favorite people in this entire world, and let's celebrate their first steps as this new family. Thank you both.
Nate's best friend Derek has prepared a song to sing, especially just for them. But he's a little shy, so we need to help him up here. Derek, 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 Derek.
All right. Yeah. So, first I was going to make a joke that I was crying because I was nervous, not because of, thinking about the relationship, but now that has totally thrown me for a loop. I really feel like crying. Can't even get this paper. As you can tell, there will not be a song, just a speech. I am very sorry. I know, instant booze. I haven't even gotten the, So, Nate and I have been friends for a long time, since we were about 8 years old. And I have been doing the talking for the majority of our relationship for the 20 years, so I promise I'll keep this as short as possible, Nate. Sorry. I just want to start by saying thank you very much to Dr. and Mrs. Rao for hosting this beautiful event. And also, And thank you to Nate and Kalpana for picking Asheville, North Carolina as the destination for this wedding, because I think we can all agree this is pretty awesome. Exactly, that's how I feel. So when I was writing this speech, the first thought that kept coming to mind was home, the concept of home. I think anybody that has ever traveled to Southwick, Massachusetts, I'm already crying, can agree that every time you drive down that long driveway and you see the basketball hoop and the front porch and the barn, you instantly feel home. So the minute you're greeted at that front door, you get an instant feeling of happiness. And I have been extremely fortunate to call you a second family. The Trenches have been so good to me. I have drank most of their booze. I've eaten all of their food. There was one time that I put my foot through their above-ground pool and the water emptied out in the backyard. Spent a lot, and the list goes on. But every time I go there, I feel incredibly welcome. The same can be said about Nate's big and very friendly family that I'm sure you're all becoming fast friends with here tonight. I think it's important to note because those roots in his home are what makes Nate such an incredible person and what will allow him to be an incredible husband, father-in-law, and son-in-law. Also, let me just stop. I think the expectation was that I was going to also I'm not singing a song and that I was going to be funny or say something dumb, but this is going to be all mushy, so I'm sorry. Home also comes to mind as the main theme when I think about Nate and Kalpana's relationship. Since they've known each other, they've lived in Littleton, Colorado, Golden, Colorado. Kalpana, you've lived in Denver, Colorado. They moved to Johns Creek, Georgia, and then to Nashville, Tennessee, a beautiful city, which I'm sure anybody that visited can agree. Absolutely. And in that same time span, Kalpana, you've had to travel to Washington, D.C., up to New York City, and then down to Puerto Rico. And I think the one thing that remains constant in that is that, Kalpana, you know that when you come back home, you can see Nate and Swarley, and Nate, when you come back home, Kalpana and Swarley are there, and then that way you've formed each other's home. You're each other's home. And I think that's a truly beautiful theme about the wedding. I want to say to Kalpana, you'll always have a family and a home with Svenny and I. We are so happy to have met you. You're smart, charming, and incredibly fun to be around. Most importantly, Nate usually won the arguments in our entire relationship, and he's a lot smarter than me, so I'm really happy that he's finally met his match. You're an awesome person. I'm so happy we've gotten a chance to meet you, and I can't wait to see what's next for both of you. So if we can raise a glass to Nate and Kalpana and home.
So, actually, to expand on that, I also, I haven't broke anything, house property, but Trey and I have been welcomed with open arms at the Trenches houses as well. Top 5 weekends of our life. But same with the Rouse. I went there recently and I was just in the kitchen eating all their food. We were playing board games together, and I'm so excited for you guys and the love you get to share with these amazing parents and with each other. And I love the theme of home, Derek. And so with that, I would like to now welcome Dr. Rao to say a few words, thank everyone for coming, and possibly even warn us about all of the alcohol we're consuming tonight.
So are we having fun yet? This is actually a very special occasion because Kalpana came to our Nashville friends when she was 6 months old. We also saw her crawling in the temple, and she's grown from that little kid who was our Mira at the time to this beautiful young lady, and I can't be more proud of her right now. So to say a few other words of her, I've never had a boy. I've always been surrounded by girls. She was my boy, okay? She was my boy.
And they attended all the Preds games together for 17 years.
No, it's 20, but who's counting? Who's counting, right? So it's nice to finally have an official son. You know, Josh is our first, Nate's our second. So Kalpana, you are now our daughter again, okay? Nate? Well, here's the thing. Nate's actually a Patriots fan. Hold it. But you do notice that his tie is Predator gold, right? So, no, we've had, so here's how we first met Nate. If you guys don't know, we were in Clarksdale for a very short time, and there was a certain celebrity there, and Kalpana says, I'm bringing someone over to see him. And she didn't ask if he was there, and Nate and another friend of theirs come over, and of course, he's not there.
They were working in Denver, and then Kalpana is like, oh, my friend Myra and Nate are coming. I was like, oh, okay, she's bringing Boyd home? Okay. But she calls him, her Deloitte friend. I said, okay. So they come, and, they meet, Nate came to meet Morgan Freeman, by the way. And he wanted to golf with him, and some other people met and all. and
So anyway, actually, Morgan wasn't there, so we got to spend time with Nate, and Morgan came on Sunday. But another side story to that is we went to Tunica together. And we go to Tunica, and they're playing slots, and anytime Nate wins $1, Asha cashes him out. And I'm there, oh good, he's never going to come back. He's never going to come back, right? And little do we know, and then a few months later, all of a sudden, our daughter is babysitting a dog. And we're there, why is she babysitting a dog? And she had to travel to do so. It wasn't right there.
And you're right, Davy. She's very secretive. She would not tell us for the longest time. I'm like, is this guy really a friend from Deloitte or what?
And so we didn't make the, we're a little slow. We didn't make the connection right away, and then slowly it comes out, and then we've got to know Nate over the last several years, and like someone mentioned earlier, that 6 people in a room. We were in a condo with 6 adults, 2 kids, and 2 dogs. So we've done the same thing with Nate. So he's very good at doing that. So no, in all seriousness, loving couple. Kalpana is just a joy to have seen grow up. She will bend over. Every time we've made moves in the last 3 or 4 years, she's our moving company. Every time she's been there to help move us and unpack us and help us out. And Nate's been there to help any time we've needed him. So we're very fortunate to have not just...
She's known for her, to her grandparents as the only granddaughter that will help, they will not have to lift anything if they come from the car. She's like, she won't let them handle any suitcases, any luggage. She'll, grab them from them, say, oh no, you're too old, no, let me help.
Sorry, Charles. So anyway, we started to get to know Nate, and then we realized this was a thing. We're there, okay, is this the one? And then the judge came and Mira said, he's the one. Mira doesn't think of Kalpana first. It's, where's Nate? Where's Nate? Right? And so we're very fortunate to have 2 loving daughters and son-in-law's sons with us, and I can't be more happy than we are right now. So I hope you all enjoy the night. Hardy, and enjoy the night.
And we really do want to thank the Trenches family and the friends, that all came down here all the way to Asheville. I know it's beautiful, but, it's still a lot of, it takes a lot of effort to come down to an event like this. And we really, really do appreciate you to come down,
There is one other person, I don't know if Bethany's around. We were supposed to have an outdoor wedding there. And Bethany was very, very gracious to help us plan on both sides. And we had all these plans for, I think...
So all night last night, we were like, oh, okay, go ahead and set it up outside at 1 o'clock. And then we're like, no, move it inside and move it outside. And so there were chairs everywhere, inside, outside, and the florist came, set it up there, and had to move it back in. But I think it all turned out beautiful because of you folks.
I will say one more thing. When Kalpana and Nate, and Nate did ask me for a hand, but when Kalpana and Nate said they were going to get married, they were looking, Kalpana says, I want a rustic Indian wedding. To my Indian friends, what the heck is a rustic Indian wedding? This is a rustic Indian wedding. So, and Shawnee's mentioned this, weddings are a time to bond and a time not to bond. And I probably am happy that you're all at my daughter's wedding and not Kalpana's wedding, because that's why we've been battling this the entire time. She goes, Dad, it's my wedding. I'm like, no, it's my daughter's wedding. So, but in the end, I think she did win. So, anyway, again, thank you all for coming. Enjoy the night, and we hope to see you again many more times.
So with that, we're going to conclude for the night, and the dance floor is officially open. Derek. Let's go.